20 years ago, Honda cemented themselves as a leader in the space of hybrid innovation. Back in the Y2K era, the Insight and 7th generation Honda Civic Hybrid nameplates took the industry by absolute storm. But now, in an age where almost every automaker offers some kind of hybrid drivetrain, has Honda been able to keep with the times? Today, we find out. Whether you follow cars or not, you've absolutely heard of the Honda Civic. It's a staple on streets from New York to LA, London to Paris, Paris and beyond. Go onto a street right now and you're likely to find one of these cars tucked off to the side. For years, Honda has used their entry-level Civic as the people's car. Recently, with the 11th generation Honda Civic, Honda has elected to go upmarket with the Touring trim, which is what we are testing today here on NeverNeutral. With an exception to the SI and Type R performance models, the Honda Civic Sport Touring Hybrid that we are testing today is the best Civic that money can buy right now. In terms of power, we have a 2-liter Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder engine mated to Honda's eCVT technology transmission. This car puts out a respectable 200 horsepower and 232 pound-feet of torque. Along with the gasoline-powered drivetrain, you get 2 hybrid motors powering the front wheels and a battery pack underneath the rear seat. Since this is a standard hybrid vehicle, you do not need to plug it in, unlike a plug-in hybrid or a battery electric vehicle. Consumer trends in the automotive industry are always changing, which means that automakers are constantly pivoting strategies at a moment's notice. With the now extremely crowded hybrid compact segment, is Honda doing enough to stand out? Well, I took the 2026 Honda Civic Sport Touring Hybrid sedan for a test drive to find out. When I got into this car for the first time, I didn't really know what to expect considering I'd never actually been behind the wheel of a Civic before. So you can imagine my shock when I drove this car for the first time and put it into a corner. The steering is tight, the suspension is very well balanced, it feels a lot like a European car. And the CVT transmission doesn't feel like a CVT at all, it actually feels a lot like a real physical transmission. You can see how good this car handles from our suspension test and steering course that we have here. This car goes where you point it, and I really do like that. You can absolutely see where Honda translated their prototype racing prowess into road car use. If you were to somehow remove all of the features from this car that give it a Honda identity, the key body lines, the grille, the logos, the badges, all of it, and then ask me to guess what it was based on just driving profile alone, I would be absolutely flabbergasted when you utter the 2 words Honda Civic to me. This car drives like something double its value, something from the Germans. It has a premium feeling to it, and I really do like that. But that being said, I do have some critiques I have to bring up, so I figured I would bring the car to Critique Corner. Something I have to bring up is Honda did not black out the actual Honda logos on the front and rear of the car, despite blacking out all of the contingency badges. Another thing that I think could be done better is the design of the mud flaps down here. Why is it protruding when most cars have them just inside the actual bumper? There are only 2 USB-C ports for the entire car, unfortunately. The driver has more control over their seat than the passenger. And there's a prevalence of a phenomenon that I like to call dead buttons all over the interior. One final criticism I have is the fact that they put the trunk button on the door. I have to question this decision because it gets lost behind all of the fixtures. However, outside of these criticisms, I actually do have a lot of praises for this car. I feel like the seriousness will be tomorrow. No. Something I really like about this car is the fact that they've gone for more color. Everything looks like the buildings around us right now in terms of the automotive industry. Where has all the color gone? That is a car from over 30 years ago, and it comes in bright yellow. I feel like more OEMs should be following Honda's footsteps here with the colors. Something I have to say about this car is I love how the doors handle, because it's just your traditional, regular door handle. No buttons, No levers, no switches. That's all you need. On the topic of door handles, I really like how simplistic the keyless entry system for this car is. Moving to the interior, I really appreciate how Honda used screens rather sparingly. It doesn't feel like you're entering Times Square each time you start the car. The touchscreen is very easy to interpret, even while driving, and has no lag to it, which is nice. The navigation system on this vehicle is straightforward and requires no signups. Another thing I really like about this car is the gauge cluster. It's sleek and minimalistic. I also like how Honda paid extra attention to the little Civic in between the speedometer and RPM gauge. They went ahead and animated the taillights and turn signals for it. Isn't that so cool? Staying on the topic of attention to detail, I really like how you can actually center the mirror selector. Most luxury cars don't even have that. Another thing I love about this car, it still has sunglasses holders in the year 2025. Something that doesn't get talked about enough is keys, and I really like the key on this car. It's nice, it has some weight to it, and it feels very upscale. It's getting really cold now. The temperature is like super dropped off, so I think I'm going to get in the car, and I'm going to turn on those heated seats, and I'm going to go home now. Obviously, this was not optimal weather for automotive videography. Once the rain came, it just never stopped, and once we got some rollers of the car in the water, we just decided to call it a quits for the day. So to make up for the rainy day, how about I give you a rundown of the interior? You can really tell Honda did their homework with this thing. Everything has been intricately placed for maximum ergonomic benefit. Honda calls this the man maximum machine minimum design philosophy. Whether it be the buttons, the vents, the screens, an executive decision was made as to its placement in the interior. Hopping into the driver's seat first, you'll notice that Honda has tried their best to make a familiar feeling Civic interior. The gauges are minimalistic and easy to understand. The regenerative braking options are right there on the steering wheel in the form of paddle shifters. The heated steering wheel button is on the steering wheel itself. The vehicle ignition is located on the dashboard and is easy to use. It even glows. The gear shifter is where you would expect it to be, in the center console. To put the car into gear, you just pull the shifter back. There isn't any strings attached. With this car, you do get 4 drive modes: Econ, Normal, Sport, and Individual. And the selector feels as if it was ripped out of Gran Turismo, especially with the sound. I really like that. This car has very unique air vents, which can be used to direct air on multiple axes. The HVAC control comes from the center stack, which is aviation inspired. This vehicle is equipped with Bose speakers. They have great all-around range on them and really add to the premium feeling of the Civic Sport Touring Hybrid. Quickly glancing upward, I have to mention that the Civic Sport Touring Hybrid does get a sunroof. It does only cover the front 2 occupants though. That is to be expected of a sedan. That being said, all sedans do have rear seats, so why don't we go take a look at them? Since I'm over 6 feet tall, I usually dread the back seat of a car. Despite this, I actually found the rear seats on this vehicle to be quite accommodating. Keep in mind, this was with the driver's seat adjusted to my driving profile on the driver's side and a hybrid battery pack right below me, which is usually a sacrifice on the cabin of hybrid vehicles. Although there are no rear climate control options on this vehicle, Honda did at least provide the rear passengers with heated seats, which is very, very nice, especially with the cold Canadian winters. One last thing I felt I should show off is the trunk space, huge in regards to what compacts were 10 years ago. You can tell that Honda brought their A-game with this interior, and for that reason, I have to give this car a thumbs up. Experiencing a hybrid vehicle for the first time is a lot like experiencing your first chili dog. Gasoline and electricity is so much better when utilized in unison than if they were separate. Now, should you drop absolutely everything you are doing if you're car shopping and buy this car with 0 second thoughts? I have to say no. Because with regards to automotive purchases, you need to remember your ABCs. Always be cross-shopping. Whenever you're car shopping, I think you should always cross-shop the vehicle's competitive set because it allows you to get a personal edge and feeling for what you're buying. Trying something on for size has never hurt anybody. So with regards to the competitive set of this vehicle, I suggest you also look at the 2026 Toyota Corolla XSE Hybrid and the 2026 Hyundai Elantra Luxury Hybrid. Both of these vehicles fulfill a similar niche as the Civic Sport Touring Hybrid sedan and have their own unique advantages with regards to price point and features. Now, should you consider the 2026 Honda Civic Sport Touring Hybrid if you're in the market for a premium subcompact car? Absolutely. Even if you aren't directly looking at a hybrid right now, I think you should at least consider this car. It will definitely surprise you. I understand the price is a little high for a Civic, but if Honda's track record of reliability and quality is any benchmark, then I think the price is completely justified. Furthermore, if you're a young family or a recent post-secondary graduate starting their first real job, this is the car for you. This is a vehicle that will grow with you, a car that is no nonsense. It doesn't sacrifice safety or driving experience for fuel efficiency and cost savings. If hybrid vehicles are supposed to be boring, well, Honda forgot the memo with the 2026 Honda Civic Sport Touring Hybrid sedan. Alright, this has been our first ever episode of NeverNeutral. Thank you so much for sitting through this. I know that there are a lot of things that we need to work out, but this has been such a fun and rewarding experience. Thank you so much to Honda Canada for supplying us with the vehicle. I had such a great time working together with the photography team and the film team, and can't wait to see where this channel takes me. So until next time, keep shifting up.